К такому стоит быть готовым. Ну что, неплохо.
Отвлеки его. Клирик, за мной.
Свет Силуны прогонит зло!
Вставайте, дети! Вставайте и сожрите живых!
For centuries, Neverwinter stood in the cold and savage wilderness as a warm, glittering beacon of civilization. However, the Jewel of the North fared no better than the rest of Fhaerun against the ravages of the Spell Plague. Further destruction was visited upon the weakened city by a devastating event known as the Ruining. Today, the once majestic city teeters on the edge of total annihilation. Even as the ruins are being reclaimed and rebuilt, dark forces are at work, seeking control of powers beyond our imagination. Now more than ever, the city promises death to the timid, glory to the bold, and danger for all. Heroes, you are desperately needed. Come to Neverwinter and vie for glory.
This city promises death for the meek, glory for the bold, and danger for all.
Did you hear about the battle on the bridge? Sergeant Knox and his men slayed 20 trolls.
No, it wasn't trolls. It was wolves and goblins.
I heard the blasted drow were behind it, I did. They were...
You got it all wrong. It was an army of undead.
I was there. I stood on that dark bridge when the dead came walking. And all the foul things of the world clawed their wicked way to the city gates. Shatter shield, helm, and sword in thirst for the living. And when the Lich Valindra came to unleash the beast, I faced that death soaring from on high and stood beneath its black wing. We choked on the ashes of our fallen brothers until death took its leave. I was there that day on that bridge, and I'll be there tomorrow. Should all that hell, 1,000 more like it, come again for us and ours.
Now, where will you be?
Too good to drink with the rest of his companions?
I can't take her as mage. We have unfinished business with you. Where he go? Huh?
Oh, he is too good.
Магия разрушила этот мир. Но его обитателями движет жажда наживы. Сегодня тень окутала пики Велоска, которые когда-то защищали варвары Утгариты. Утгаритское племя воинственных серых волков привлекло внимание нетерийских полководцев, а от их пристального взгляда не так просто избавиться. Нетерийцы купили преданность за могущество. Выжить в Велоске – нелегкая задача. Здесь сталь пронзает плоть, а магия лишает героев разума. И мудр тот, кто следит за луной и прислушивается к ночи. Ведь в холмах Велоска бродят не только странники.
Darkness and shadow fall upon us. Under the command of the powerful necromancer Idris, the shadowy forces of the Netherese have uncovered the lost artifact known as the Death Knell. With its power, Idris has forged an alliance with the Barrow Lords of Ebon Downs, providing them with the means to raise an army of the dead to seize control of the Sword Coast. The village of Grimhollow has already fallen under this veil of evil. Lord Neverwinter, protector of Neverwinter, now calls upon you to wield steel and magic against this foul darkness. Recover the shards of the Death Knell before it's too late. Traven Blackdagger, plunderer, pirate, and dreaded raider preyed upon the Sword Coast for many dark years. But the fires of Mount Hotenau's eruption consumed Blackdagger and brought death and ruin. So it was said, so it was believed, so it was true. Only fools travel along the seaside keep of Blackdagger's bandits. Fleets, once thought burnt or sunk, mass along the Sword Coast. And a name is whispered to the wind and carried above the waves. Blackdagger. Blackdagger. This, the telling of Traven's survival, or resurrection, spreads and twists as the fearful confide their cowardice in each other. But for the attentive and the learned, some rumors speak dark truths. A pirate reborn. Those pledged to preserve balance, the harpers have found new quarry. And what fame, fortune, or torment awaits those who travel to Blackdagger's Keep on morning tides?
К югу от Невервинтера стоит укрепленный монастырь под названием Хелмова обитель. В этом древнем храме служители мертвого бога Хелма облегчают страдания жертв колдовского мора. Или просто делают вид. Ходят слухи, что обителью завладел демонический культ, духовно и физически ломающий всех непокорных. Пора отбить странную лечебницу у тех, кто оскверняет души живых, и вернуть дьяволов в 9 кругов ада. Бурное извержение горы Хэтеноу потрясло Невервинтер, посеяв в некогда великом городе смерть и разруху. Подземные толчки раскололи земную твердь и оставили после себя дымящийся разлом. Из его глубин на поверхность хлынули таинственные чудовища, окончательно уничтожая многострадальный город. Выжившие обитатели Невервинтера отчаянно пытались дать отпор монстрам. Чтобы сдержать врага, вокруг города в спешке соорудили стену, но силы зла прибывают с каждым днем. Говорят, кое-где они уже пробрались за стену. Но численный перевес не всегда означает победу. Мы должны собрать войско и спуститься в разлом. Необходимо любым способом закрыть портал между мирами. Раз и навсегда.
On the southwest edge of the Crags mountain range sits a smoking volcano known as Mount Hotenau. Several decades ago, the partial awakening of a primordial deep below ground caused the mountain to erupt in a violent explosion of fire and ash, and the city of Neverwinter was nearly obliterated. Over time, the city was rebuilt, but the smoldering peak continues to loom over the city. Now, mysterious fire giants seek to awaken the sleeping primordial, once again raining fiery destruction upon all of the Sword Coast. Only Neverwinter's bravest heroes dare ascend Mount Hotenau and confront the evils that dwell on the charred mountainside. The fire giants must be stopped before the primordial is awakened once more, and Neverwinter is turned to ash. For centuries, the Icehammer dwarves of Torundar searched the Sword Mountains for rich veins of gold and mithril. While prospecting Icepire Peak, the dwarves discovered a dormant portal to the elemental chaos known as the Winter Forge. Unwittingly, the dwarves activated the portal, calling forth a host of ice golems, and the dwarves were forced to flee. But great power does not lie unnoticed for long. From the Sword Mountains came a vicious clan of frost giants, led by the mighty Hrymnir. The frost giants seized control of the Winter Forge, and now seek to expand their frozen kingdom to the rest of the savage north. The dwarves alone cannot fight back the Frost Lord's armies. They will need the heroes of Neverwinter if there is any hope to defeat Hrymnir and destroy the Winter Forge before it plunges the land into eternal winter.
С начала ужасной эпидемии колдовского мора и страшного извержения горы Хэтеноу прошло немало лет. Некогда великий город Невервинтер стремится вернуть себе былую славу. Протекторат — это все, что осталось от знаменитого величия и красоты Невервинтера. Но сейчас даже самый процветающий квартал — лишь бледная тень себя прежнего. Лорд Неверэмбер неустанно трудится на благо своих подданных. Он укрепил городскую стену, надеясь сдержать натиск орков из квартала башни, лезущих из разлома отродий грязи и нежити, обитающей на кладбище Невердед. Лорд Неверэмбер знает, город подстерегает немало опасностей. В квартале Блэк-Лейк вместе с нищими и юродивыми обосновались жестокие повстанцы, которые только и думают, как бы лишить лорда-протектора власти. Замок Невер, печальное свидетельство былого богатства города, стоит в руинах. Его населяют полчища нежити и чудовищ из Неверниза. Есть опасения, что город, раздираемый на части столькими противниками, стал уязвим и для угроз снаружи. Чтобы вернуть давно утраченный мир, бывшей жемчужине Севера нужны новые герои.
Just outside of Neverwinter Woods lies the village of Rothe Valley. After years of peace, the quiet farm community has been besieged by wicked drow from House Soloran, located deep in the Underdark. Led by High Priestess Sindrith, the drow have begun enslaving the villagers and offering them as sacrifices to their goddess, Lolth, the Spider Queen. Left unchecked, innocent blood will continue to be spilt. Who shall free the slaves from the clutches of House Soloran? Who dares to journey into the Underdark to confront Sindrith and put an end to her ruthless reign of terror?
К северо-западу от Невервинтера, глубоко под Андердарком, протянулись заброшенные лабиринты шепчущих пещер. Илитиды, жестокие повелители разума, на время объединились силами с дроу и захватили эти пещеры. Теперь там добывают руду подневольные дуэргары. Этот извращенный союз охраняет Железное Сердце, проход к верхним сводам, где давным-давно было заточено древнее зло. Ходят слухи, что это зло призывает элитидов сплотиться, цель же его никому не известна. Вырвется ли древний ужас на земли Норддарка — всего лишь вопрос времени. Когда-то богатая столица гномьего царства, ныне забытый и вновь обретенный город Гонтулгрим, стал полем боя для искателей приключений 60-го уровня. Это эпическое событие делит 40 игроков на две фракции по 20 участников. Три его фазы включают бои между игроками и борьбу с компьютерными противниками. Фаза 1. Железная молельня. В первой фазе фракция сражается с полчищами компьютерных врагов, выполняя разные задания и готовясь к битве с игроками-соперниками. Среди заданий собрать огонь элементалей и зажечь горн великих мастеров. Победить дуэргаров и добыть материалы для оружия. Каждое задание, выполненное в заданный срок, приносит ценные очки. Фракция, набравшая больше очков, получает преимущество во второй фазе – устойчивость. Фаза 2. Оружейные Мародина. Во второй фазе фракции-соперники сражаются друг с другом в масштабном доминировании 20 на 20. Во время боя можно собрать катапульты, чтобы бомбардировать врага пылающими валунами, либо заручиться поддержкой великана Амусуда. Основная задача игроков во второй фазе — захватить контроль над 5 ключевыми точками Гонталгрима. Искатели приключений должны быть осторожны. В этих опасных пещерах подстерегают бихолдеры и огры. Фракция, победившая во второй фазе, может получить большую награду в третьей. После PvP-сражения во второй фазе, фракция, набравшая больше очков, получает право войти в склеп короля гномов. Эпическое подземелье с наградами второго уровня, самыми ценными в игре. Проигравшая фракция получает право войти в склеп Фарделвера с наградами первого уровня. Гонталгрим. Состязание опытных игроков. Проверка на скорость и умение работать в команде. Сражения тяжелые. Сопротивление яростное. Но и награды стоят риска. Это знает любой опытный искатель приключений.
Dark times fall upon us. Death and doom clutch our city. But even now, at world's end, far beyond these walls, faith is pitted against abominations, punishing ancient sin with holy light.
Elements are mastered to spear the heartless from dead skies. Great strength drives cold steel through colder hearts. Conviction steadies the shield as courage walks the brave through cursed flame on blistered peak. And the quick elude and defy the wicked in the depths of the earth. Come, you who have been tested, you who have not bent, who have not broken, rise from defeat, from ash, rise!
Neverwinter делали фанаты Dungeons and Dragons для фанатов Dungeons and Dragons. Cryptic Studios и Perfect World поставили целью сделать самую динамичную и захватывающую игру по вселенной D&D. Мир Forgotten Realms оживает здесь как никогда прежде. От высот замка Невер до глубин огнедышащей горы Хэтеноу игрока ждут приключения в самых впечатляющих местах Северного Королевства Фаэрун, окружающих город Невервинтер. Примерьте роль героя в любом из фирменных классов D&D. Будь то воин-страж, плут-ловкач, волшебник-повелитель или истовый клирик. Отправляйтесь в поход в одиночестве или с друзьями. Побеждайте орды нежити, орков и легендарных чудищ, дабы вернуть былую славу городу, что когда-то звали Жемчужиной Севера. Основа игрового дизайна в Neverwinter — система боя с упором на действие. Система боя в Neverwinter отходит от стандартного выбора целей табуляции. Бои стали стремительнее и интереснее, и больше учитывают навыки игрока. Блоки, уклонения, прицеливания и контратаки помогут вам побеждать классических монстров D&D. В Neverwinter искатель приключений найдет что-нибудь новое каждый день. Neverwinter — это не только грандиозная сюжетная линия и ежедневные события. Мастерская позволит быстро создать собственные задания и подземелья. Количество приключений ограничено только фантазией игроков. Творите, делитесь с другими и играйте. Neverwinter — это любовное послание как фанатам Dungeons and Dragons, так и любителям MMO. Этот амбициозный проект Cryptic Studios сочетает динамичные бои и ежедневное обновление контента с классикой ролевых игр. Игра Neverwinter на 100% бесплатна. Городу Neverwinter нужна помощь отважных и опытных героев. Вы готовы принять вызов?
The Guardian Fighter is a heavily armored melee class that focuses on absorbing massive amounts of damage. The key to success is knowing when to block and how to time the fighter's abilities based on what an opponent is doing. The fighter can obtain dozens of different skills. These are just a few that are available at earlier levels. The Guardian Fighter's most basic attack is Cleave, which is mapped to the left mouse button. If positioned well, a Guardian Fighter can use Cleave to hit several enemies in a wide arc. An alternate basic attack for the Guardian Fighter is Tide of Iron. Click the right mouse button to shield slam a target and weaken them for further attacks. Holding the shift key puts the fighter into guard mode, a defensive stance that minimizes damage from incoming attacks and nullifies control effects like stun and knock. Lunging Strike is the first encounter-type ability that Guardian Fighters receive. With a fairly short cooldown, Lunging Strike is the perfect way to close the gap to an enemy. It's also useful as an intercept if an enemy's targeting a party's cleric. Terrifying Impact is the first daily power the Guardian Fighter can access. The fighter slams his sword into the ground, creating a massive fissure that ripples forward. This powerful ability is also a great way to set up the casters in a party. For example, knocking down a group of enemies with Terrifying Impact will ensure that a wizard's area of effect spell does maximum damage. With powerful abilities on both offense and defense, the Guardian Fighter is an essential member of any party of adventurers in Neverwinter. Control Wizard is a ranged class that focuses on casting powerful elemental and control magic. The key to success is properly juggling the wizard's control effects to exploit an enemy's weakness. The Control Wizard can obtain dozens of abilities. These are just a few that are available at earlier levels. The Control Wizard's basic attack is Magic Missile. Press the left mouse button to fire a rapid series of bolts that inflict moderate damage to an enemy. The Control Wizard's alternate attack is Ray of Frost. Holding the right mouse button fires a continuous beam that freezes a target, setting it up for further attacks. Pressing the Shift key and a movement direction triggers Teleport, a defensive maneuver that allows the Control Wizard to evade incoming attacks or simply travel more quickly. Chill Strike is the first encounter ability that the Control Wizard receives. The wizard hurls a conjured icicle at a target, dealing significant damage and stunning the target momentarily. Ice Storm is the first daily power that the control wizard can obtain. This area of effect spell causes enormous spikes of ice to erupt from the ground, lifting enemies off their feet and dealing massive damage. Ice Storm is extremely effective for crowd control. The control wizard can use Ice Storm to clear a wide area and provide some breathing room. With dynamic spells and potent debuffs, the control wizard is a talented addition to any party of adventurers in Neverwinter. The Trickster Rogue is a lightly armored melee class that focuses on evading incoming attacks. The key to success is knowing when to dodge and when to counter an enemy's attacks. The Trickster Rogue can obtain dozens of abilities. These are just a few that are available at earlier levels. The Trickster Rogue's most basic attack is Sly Flourish, which is mapped to the left mouse button. Sly Flourish is a quick combination of slashes that inflicts moderate damage to enemies. The Trickster Rogue's alternate attack is Deft Strike. Clicking the right mouse button allows the Trickster to quickly appear behind a target and deal extra damage to that target's unprotected flank. Pressing the Shift key in a movement direction triggers a Roll, a defensive maneuver that allows the spry Trickster to evade incoming attacks. Dazing Strike is the first encounter ability that the Trickster Rogue receives. Leap into the air, then crash down on an enemy, dazing and preventing that foe from attacking for a short period. Bloodbath is the first daily power the Trickster Rogue can obtain. With this daily, the Trickster shows its speed and agility, dashing around the battlefield, slashing opponents with a flurry of powerful strikes. When this ability is active, the Trickster Rogue is immune to damage and control effects. With lightning-fast strikes and tremendous agility, the Trickster Rogue is a great addition to any party of adventurers in Neverwinter. The Great Weapon Fighter is a medium to heavy armored disciple of rage on the field of battle, wielding a massive two-handed weapon with incredible skill and with deadly results. Here are just a few of the abilities this class offers. Their most basic attack is Wicked Strike, which is mapped to the left mouse button. Wicked Strike is a combination of slashes that inflicts moderate damage to an enemy. The Great Weapon Fighter's alternate attack is Reaping Strike. Clicking and holding down the right mouse button charges up this deadly and powerful swing. The longer you charge your attack, the greater damage you'll inflict upon your target. One of the first encounter abilities you will receive is Reaver, where you hurl your mighty two-handed weapon at your opponent as you leap toward it, dealing a massive echo of damage when you land. Spinning Strike is the first daily power that the Great Weapon Fighter can obtain. Using the weight of your body, you swing your weapon around you multiple times, cutting into foes around you in a spinning dance of death. From adventuring into the deepest and darkest dungeons to traveling cursed lands, the Great Weapon Fighter is a welcome addition to any party of brave adventurers. devoted cleric is a righteous healer committed to preventing injury and restoring health. The cleric is also capable of manipulating the battlefield with a combination of area control and holy damage. On offense, the devoted cleric builds divine power by dealing damage to unruly enemies. Once enough divine power is gained, the cleric can channel it to enhance the effects of their powers. Here are just a few of the many powers the devoted cleric can attain. Lance of Fate is the devoted cleric's main attack. By hitting the left mouse button, the cleric hurls spears of light at targeted enemies, dealing moderate damage. The cleric's alternate at-will ability is Astral Seal. Press the right mouse button to unleash a quick burst of light that encases foes and restores the team's health when attacking those spellbound enemies. Hitting Tab will channel Divinity, replacing the devoted cleric's left and right click attacks with Punishing Light and Soothing Light, respectively. Punishing Light creates a damaging stream of divine power. Soothing Light is a healing beam that restores health to both the cleric and any ally the cleric targets. One of the first encounter abilities the devoted cleric will learn is Daunting Light, an area of effect spell that casts down a divine column of light, dealing large amounts of damage to enemies. If used with divine power, Daunting Light casts quicker and affects a larger area. Hallowed Ground is one of the first daily powers the devoted cleric receives. The cleric sanctifies a large area, giving an instant buff to allies, allowing them to take less damage while increasing their damage output. With divine powers that lend support on both offense and defense, the devoted cleric is an invaluable member of any party fighting its way through the world of Neverwinter.
What's the point of getting around faster if you can't do it in style? Get the Hero of the North Founders Pack and unlock an exclusive
Armored Spider Mount!
Hey, where'd you get all that? Carl only had horses.
The Hero of the North Founders Pack! Get the Hero of the North Founders Pack and unlock an exclusive Armored Spider Mount!
I have stood by many in battle, but none so loyal or fearless. You stood where others ran and fought where others cowered. But now I must find a new companion. Even as new battles find me.
what it takes to get into that amazing beta that all your friends are in? The Hero of the North Founders Pack is exactly what you need to get in. With this Founders Pack, you'll have early 5-day VIP access to Neverwinter. Get in and start playing before everyone else. Outfit yourself with the Moonstone Mask Regalia as your ticket to the party inside. Slay your foes in style as the exiled drow from Menzoberranzan. Explore Ebon Downs on your giant armored spider mount. Travel the lands in Neverwinter with a ferocious panther companion. And that's just the beginning. Buy the Hero of the North Founders Pack and you'll get all of this. So, quit thinking about it and go get your Hero of the North Founders Pack today. Oh, and on your way out, you can pass on a golden beta key to one of your very special and jealous friends.
Take this. Yeah! Alright! I'm awesome!
A Clash of Wills takes players on a mission to investigate missing mercenaries. A lone horse leads to an abandoned campsite and a life lost. The path continues to a mysterious cave. Within, players encounter hostile goblins and worse. Beyond them, deep where the sun does not reach, a mind flayer waits. Traverse a dreamlike realm, hunt or be hunted, and discover the dark secrets behind those who vanished in this player-created Foundry mission.
Prepare for the journey into Sharandar with the Knight of the Feywild Pack. Begin a new adventure as a member of the never-before-seen Moon Elf race. Travel in style on the unique and majestic Dawn Unicorn mount. Accompanying each adventurer will be the nimble and elegant Sylph Companion. Be the envy of other adventurers with the exquisite Moon Silver Regalia. But that's not all. The Knight of the Feywild Pack also includes these amazing items. Sharandar awaits. Get the Knight of the Feywild Pack today.
Long thought lost to memory and myth, the mystical land of the Feywild has returned. New Sharandar stands as the entryway to a world alive with magic and beauty. But generations of isolation have changed the land of the Fae. Beyond the untamed woods lies the ruined castle of the Dark Fae King, Malabog. Rumors abound that Malabog has obtained the ultimate weapon, a legendary beast that may shift the balance of power and change New Sharandar and Neverwinter forever. Deep inside Neverwinter Wood, a mystical oak tree hides a secret portal that leads to the magical land of the Feywild. Long thought lost to memory and myth, New Sharandar now serves as a military outpost, defending against dark Fae, as well as outside threats that dare step through the portal. Today, perverse Fae creatures inhabit the vast wilderness of New Sharandar. The Fomorian king Malabog has amassed an army of Cyclops and Redcaps to wage war against the Illiambruin, who seek to maintain peace in Sharandar. Malabog has formed a dark alliance with the undead wizard Valindra, and now possesses the ultimate weapon, the legendary blue dragon known as Fulminorax. The Feywild's only hope lies in the courage of Neverwinter's finest. Beyond the portal, the battle for New Sharandar begins. Through the Feywild, a new adventure awaits.
weapon.
Troops, you fought tooth and nail to get here. The battle has just begun. Beyond these hills, your greatest trials await. The very limits of your endurance will be tested. Fail this, and shame shall follow you the rest of your days. Stow all weakness, or you'll face wild, horrific creatures. For those who persevere, incredible rewards await. But beware! Danger comes in many forms. Anyone can be an enemy. In this forsaken place, you cannot falter. You cannot rest. Lowering your guard for 1 instant.
Got you.
Strange things are happening in the Tower District. Meet with Guard Keldum, and an orc shaman will appear, revealing he was behind the disappearances. The shaman conjures up a portal through which a new world awaits. On the other side, a half-orc summons a yellow wisp road. After fighting past a camp full of orcs, the journey to the mysterious Emerald Castle begins. Along the way, several odd creatures will be encountered. The path first leads to a zombie under attack by the Red Wizards. The zombie reveals he is in need of a brain and becomes a party member, joining the adventure. Further along, fire archons lay an ambush and an iron golem appears, providing assistance. It is revealed that the iron golem lacks a heart. Finally, a battle in the forest exposes a cowardly wolf in search of courage. With these companions in tow, the party travels to the gates of the Emerald Castle. Within the walls of the castle lie 3 mystical items needed to unlock the doors to the wizard's chambers. Only after facing many deadly foes will access be granted. Once inside the wizard's chambers, the final battle begins. Join forces with the newfound companions and uncover the answers needed to find a way home. In the depths of the Dwarven Keep lies an Eldarin sarcophagus, a powerful relic recently discovered by the Dwarven King and Queen. On this fateful night, an army of ruthless goblins and Thayan orcs have besieged the keep. The battle rages inside, where the Queen reveals a dire situation. The orcs have taken the king as a hostage as they attempt to discover the secrets deep within the mines. Join forces with Boendil and his dwarven army to defeat the orcs, reclaim the keep, and rescue the king from certain death. In turn, the secrets of the Eldarin sarcophagus may become your own.
Coming soon to Neverwinter, more call to arms skirmishes, orc assault, battle for the bridge, and temple defense. These events allow players to participate regardless of level, and the experience is tailored for each individual member of the party. Players who may have previously missed out on these skirmishes can now jump in at any time, play through the epic missions, and win amazing rewards. In Orc Assault, players are tasked with protecting the Neverwinter guard post in the Tower District from waves of hostile orcs. Mog the Crusher will join the fray, so work together to bring him down. In Battle for the Bridge, players fight for control of a massive stone bridge over the fires of Mount Hotno.
fight through the flames, and confront Grumthrox the Relentless and his fire giants. In Temple Defense, players must defend the Temple of Kelimvor and Ebon Downs against hordes of the undead, defeat the powerful mini-bosses, and destroy the crystals to save the temple. Upon completing these events, players will be rewarded with unique weapon skins and fashion items. Equip them and show your valor. These call to arms skirmishes are fast, action-packed weekend events. Join the battles while they last. Shadowmantle is Neverwinter's biggest content update to date, with all new Paragon paths, a new artifact system, the brand new Hunter Ranger class, an epic new endgame adventure zone, and much more. Shadowmantle will give adventurers plenty of new ways to experience Neverwinter. A new Paragon path is available for each of the original classes in Neverwinter, offering players new choices when building their hero. Additional power sets feature a variety of new buffs, encounter abilities, at-will attacks, and daily powers. Shadowmantle also adds a number of brand new gameplay features. The all-new collection system reveals the locations of epic loot, making it easier for adventurers to search out missing items and complete their sets of epic gear. Level up your companions in an all-new Sword Coast Adventures minigame. Every companion has its own set of power dice that improves and expands as they level up. Players can now seek out and refine artifacts to give adventurers new powers and stat bonuses. Shadowmantle also introduces the highly anticipated Hunter Ranger class. Use the bow and arrow to devastate enemies from afar, then switch to dual blades for close encounters. High-level adventurers can now experience the latest adventure zone, the Dread Ring. Travel to the land of the Thay and confront Valindra in this all-new epic endgame showdown. Shadowmantle brings a wealth of new content to Neverwinter. Experience the adventure like never before.
Beyond the tall peaks of the spine of the world lies an accursed land plagued by dark magic. The spread of the mysterious and dangerous substance known as black ice has attracted a great deal of unwanted attention. From the frigid shores of Caer Konig to the abandoned mines of Dwarven Valley, the dark influence of black ice has changed these lands forever. Welcome to Icewind Dale. Over a century has passed since corrupted wizard Akar Kessel was thwarted by the allied forces of Icewind Dale. The source of Kessel's power, the Crystal Shard, was destroyed, but not before leaving a permanent mark on Icewind Dale. The region surrounding ice and snow transformed into a mysterious substance that came to be known as black ice. The Hammerstone dwarves learned to forge the black ice into powerful magic-infused armor and weapons. However, it soon became clear that the substance was marked by a violent curse. Over time, several groups have taken up residence in Icewind Dale, each with its own agenda. The Arcane Brotherhood claims to have unlocked the secret to removing the evil taint from black ice. Meanwhile, the residents of the 10 towns believe the black ice is theirs by right. With the rumored return of Akar Kessel and his dark forces, the conflict in Icewind Dale will soon reach its breaking point. Which side will you fight for? Will you uncover the truth behind the resurrection of Akar Kessel?
The latest module for Neverwinter, Curse of Icewind Dale, enriches the Neverwinter experience with all new quest lines, epic new black ice gear, heroic encounters, PvE and PvP campaigns, a new Paragon path for the Hunter-Ranger class, and much more. Found throughout the new zones, black ice is used to create the most powerful gear in Neverwinter. Harvest black ice from both PvE and PvP areas and empower your gear with corrupted or purified stats. In the spirit of delivering more open-world content, Curse of Icewind Dale introduces heroic encounters, spontaneous PvE quests that vary in scale and difficulty. Also included in the new module is a brand new PvE campaign, which takes place in Icewind Pass and Dwarven Valley. This campaign plays an important role in Black Ice rewards, and adventurers will be able to repeat quests, earn new boons, and receive gifts from the grateful people of Caercone. Adventurers now have more strategic options for building their Hunter-Ranger, including new encounter, at-will, and daily powers, as well as 3 new class features and 3 new feats. The PvP campaign introduces new objectives and rewards for adventurers who thrive in domination and open-world PvP. In addition, PvP leaderboards allow adventurers to compare their domination rankings against other adventurers. Curse of Icewind Dale offers a wealth of new content and gameplay features. Experience the frostier side of Neverwinter.
Тем, кто ищет славы и богатства, в Невервинтере никогда не бывает легко. Сражения выигрываются умением, стратегией и, что более важно, сплоченностью. Но не каждый отряд готов сразиться с наиболее опасными противниками. Тем, кто не боится сил тьмы, на помощь спешит новый союзник. Чернокнижник-мучитель берет силы для своей магии из запретных и полузабытых источников. Вас ждут новые встречи в уже знакомых местах, и только самые отважные и сильные сумеют одолеть жутких врагов. Мрачная тень надвигается на Невервинтер. Культ дракона плетет заговор и хочет погубить весь Фаэрун. Собирайтесь силами, зовите союзников и готовьтесь к новому сражению с тиранией драконов!
Тирания драконов – самый масштабный из модулей Neverwinter на сегодняшний день. В нем вас ждет новый класс персонажей – чернокнижник-мучитель. Также в Neverwinter появится раса драконидов, новые героические встречи, схватка, подземелья и многое другое. Чернокнижники-мучители владеют темной магией и пользуются своим могуществом, чтобы проклинать врагов, призывать на службу кукол души и вытягивать хиты противников. В бою чернокнижник-мучитель может сконцентрироваться на нанесении урона или сыграть роль поддержки, усиливая союзников и ослабляя врагов с помощью новой механики проклятий. Чернокнижник-мучитель станет отличным дополнением для любой команды, стремящейся к превосходству на поле боя. Впервые искатели приключений смогут выбрать древнюю расу драконидов для своего персонажа. Игроки, выбравшие расу драконидов, смогут подобрать свой собственный набор бонусов к параметрам и открыть уникальные доспехи и расовые преимущества, присущие только этой расе. Начиная с 30 уровня, искатели приключений смогут принять участие в новых случайных героических встречах и победить самых сильных и зловещих чудовищ Фаэруна. Отправляйтесь на кладбище Невердет, в Черные могильники, на Ледяной пик, в долину Роте и Шепчущие пещеры, чтобы сразиться в этих эпических битвах. Героические встречи будут привязаны к новой сюжетной линии, повествующей о культе дракона. Игроков ждет новый враг из рода белых драконов – Миратракс Алчный. Искатели приключений 60 уровня смогут посетить новую область. Отправляйтесь на живописные берега Туэрна и примите участие в новой схватке с различными случайными встречами. Преследуйте культ дракона на развалинах некогда могучей империи. Сразитесь с новыми свирепыми созданиями и расстройте зловещий план культа, не дав ему завладеть таинственной реликвией драконов в логове Lost Mount. Искатели приключений смогут выбрать обычную или эпическую версию схватки и подземелья. В каждой версии можно получить свои уникальные награды. В модуле «Тирания драконов» вы также найдете нового скакуна, яростного дракона, новые артефакты, комплект доспехов Империи драконов, оружие культа дракона, спутника дракона-убийцу и многое другое. Искатели приключений. Хватит ли вам сил, чтобы остановить наступление и предотвратить тиранию драконов?
Began with a whisper, and then they came. We thought we had overcome. But the unspeakable happened. Has arisen from the 9 hells. May the gods help us all.
Культ дракона сеял страх и разрушение по всему Фаэруну. Из драконьего источника он вызвал Тиамат, королеву драконов. Но надежда еще жива. Новая угроза заставила чернокнижников-мучителей снова пройти по 9 кругам ада, чтобы сторговаться с безымянными силами среди огненной пустоши Флегетоса. Пожиратель душ, новый путь идеала позволит вам призывать порождение кошмаров, которые будут разрывать врагов и уничтожать все, что им дорого. Самые отважные странники Фаэруна объединились, чтобы сразиться с величайшей из угроз. Ведь нет у Фаэруна врага страшнее, чем Тиамат. Давайте же вместе отправим королеву драконов обратно в 9 кругов ада.
Наши жизни полны отчаяния.
Каждый день новые кошмары. За каждым углом погибель. И смерть выползает из тени. Немногие еще на ногах. Сила и отвага на исходе. Но надежда есть. Мы продолжим бороться с тьмой. А ты?
Новое дополнение к Neverwinter провозглашает появление праведного паладина и встречу с владыками стихий. Праведный паладин — это танк или целитель. Боги наделили его даром усиливать соратников клятвами и аурами. Максимальный уровень повышен до 70-го. Новые умения помогут в борьбе с культами воды, земли, огня и воздуха. Не дайте им уничтожить древо равновесия стихий. Используйте новую силу, чтобы сразиться с культами стихий. Встречайте крепости. Новое дополнение для Neverwinter. Оно бесплатное и включает совершенно новую, самую большую в Neverwinter область, доступную как новичкам, так и опытным странникам. Вступите в гильдию, соберите необходимые материалы, расчистите руины и постройте дом для своей гильдии. Будьте готовы защищать свою крепость от других игроков в новом режиме PvP. В крепостях появится система строений, которые вы должны возвести и улучшать, чтобы эффективно собирать ресурсы, повышать мощь персонажей гильдии и обороняться от врагов. Развивайте крепость, покоряя окружающие земли и выполняя задачи по всему Фаэруну. Благодаря вашим победам уровень крепости будет расти, открывая новые схватки и новые сокровища у торговцев гильдии. Ваш дом послужит вам опорным пунктом в новом мобоподобном ПВП. Соберите команду из 20 игроков и сразитесь с другими гильдиями в масштабных схватках. Стройте катапульты, перекрывайте снабжение, обеспечивайте оборону, осаждайте и уничтожайте дома гильдии противника, исследуйте бескрайний новый регион, возводите цитадель гильдии и побеждайте своих соперников. Готовьтесь! Крепости ждут!
Descend into demonic corruption in Underdark, the newest expansion for Neverwinter. Featuring a brand new story written by New York Times best-selling author R.A. Salvatore. We've brought his iconic characters to life in The Dwarven King, a questline he's written exclusively for Neverwinter. You will fight against the Ashmedai alongside Thibbledorf Point in search of Brunor Battlehammer's legendary helm. Throughout Underdark, you'll meet some of the Forgotten Realm's greatest heroes. But beware, the Abyss's corruption runs deep. New, scalable, demonic heroic encounters unleash new horrors onto Faerun, from Garistro to Nalfeshni. Face the greatest terrors of the Underdark in 2 new in-game skirmishes. The Throne of the Dwarven Gods and the Prophecy of Madness. After completing your preparations in Mantle Dareth, band together with 9 other adventurers as you journey with the heroes of the Forgotten Realms and take a stand against Demogorgon, the master of the spiraling depths.
Сражение с Демогоргоном было только началом. Все больше демонов прибывают через врата. Они уже наводнили Гонталгрим. Во главе их армии стоит Бафомет, владыка тварей. Пришло время обратиться за помощью к старым друзьям. Но будьте осторожны. Армия Бафомета не единственная угроза. В эти нелегкие дни мы узнаем, насколько каждый из нас отважен.
Добро пожаловать в таверну «Заря в норе», где вас ждут испытания. Я Портабелло да Винчи, мастер подземелий, а это ваш оценщик Флабергаст. Приветствую, это я, Флабергаст, вместе со своим котом Стибри. Ведь нельзя просто так взять и прийти в Андердарк без кота. Следуйте за оком зеленого пламени, друзья мои.
Зеленого пламени!
Но берегитесь, сражайтесь доблестно, защищайте друг друга, и тогда выживете. Вероятно, возможно. И не обращайте внимания на горгулей, они безвредны.
Разбуди меня, если кто-то из них сделает что-нибудь интересное.
Не при нашей жизни! Узрите, в Андердарке нужна необычайная сила, ибо это приключение ведет вас к опасностям, в смысле, к богатствам, которых вы не видели даже в губительных, пленительных снах. Да, снах. Или кошмарах. Как правильно, мистер Стиври? Помните, группа, которая держится вместе, погибает тоже вместе. Моя игра, мои правила.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out.
Alright, when we last left off, our favorite mad illusionist and the proprietor of the Illusionist Gambit, Lucan, has gone into the River District and broken something in one of the tombs, releasing a necromancer named Morlanth, and he needs your help.
Adventurers will stumble upon this mysterious tomb in the dense jungles of Chult as they unravel the sinister plot behind its existence.
The Tomb of the Nine Gods boasts a number of traps and puzzles designed to test your group's teamwork and general dungeon-delving daring-do. In order to make your way through the dungeon, you'll need to do much more than just fight your way through.
The Tomb of the Nine Gods is in a new tier of dungeon above that of the Spellplague Caverns and Fanbreaker Island, meaning it'll be quite the challenge for even our most powerful adventurers. Furthermore, gear alone won't be able to take down some of our most challenging bosses yet. A keen eye, quick reflexes, and adaptability are vital in making sure this tomb doesn't have your name on it. Be prepared for Withers, a boss with mechanics unlike any we've designed in the past.
Has traveled to Port Nyanzaru and needs your help to pen a new volume on rare Chultan beasts. And of course, you'll have a chance to pick up some new loot along the way.
After completing the introduction to Port Nyanzaru, head to Hunter's Square and speak with Volo to get started.
Hunter Square is full of, you guessed it, hunters. Volo has tapped the locals for the tallest tales of the most legendary monsters. Outside the city walls, you'll encounter rare beasts that have a chance of dropping valuable trophies. Prove your worth by getting your hands on one, and a hunter in town will trade you a lure you need to hunt a 1-star mark. With the lure in hand, you're ready to hunt. Find a Mark Slayer and defeat them to earn rare loot.
There are 3 levels of hunt: 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star. You'll need a trophy from 2 different 1-star hunts to earn the lure for a 2-star hunt. To face off against the 3-star hunt, you'll need trophies from all 3 2-star hunts.
Each rank represents a large step up in difficulty, so you'll definitely want to team up for 2 and 3-star hunts. Even a 1-star hunt is best tackled as a group. We encourage you to form a party in the port before heading out on the hunt.
First up, we want to talk to you about the Merchant Prince's Folly. The Merchant Prince's Folly is the skirmish that we're releasing in this upcoming expansion. In this skirmish, the monsters of Chult have knocked down the doors to Port Nyanzaru, and it is your job to defend from these hordes and shore up those defenses to clear out all the dinos and the undead that are wading in through those open gates.
Now, this module follows through on the adventures in Chult with new hunts, a fantastic new environment, 2 actually, as well as great quests, story, and of course even bigger, meaner, deadlier dinosaurs. I was going to say to hunt, but that may be a bit too optimistic on my part, that you're not actually going to be the hunted.
Our story continues with the exploration of the lost city of Omu, a once thriving Chultan city, now fallen to ruin. Continuing the story of the Death Curse, you must advance the Omu campaign by seeking the favor of the 9 trickster gods and unlock the city's secrets. Beneath the city ruins lies the Fane of the Night Serpent and the Tomb of Annihilation in its entirety.
And that brings us to the new trial, the Cradle of the Death God, where you and 9 other adventurers will travel deeper, much deeper, into the Tomb of Annihilation to confront Acerak and the Atropal.
Like your bag of holding, as you dig deeper in the lost city of Omu, you'll find this module is jam-packed with updates. We have new hunts to challenge you, new masterwork weapons and artifact gear, and exotic imports to adorn your stronghold Great Hall.
Oh, and let's not forget the Triceratops. Yes!
Что тянет вас в это жуткое место? Долг? Жажда знаний? Месть? Или просто судьба? Путь, проходящий через саму тьму. В земли, где местные жители – добыча. Вы надеетесь на свою сталь и своих богов, но они вас здесь даже не увидят. Затерянные в туманах, где только мертвые смогут вас найти. Добро пожаловать в проклятую землю. Но знайте, сделки с дьяволом не будет. Он древний, как эта земля. А вы на ней грешники.
Ravenloft, based on the Curse of Strahd adventure, a classic horror-style Gothic Dungeons & Dragons module, one of my favorites. This module kicks off with Lord Neverwinter asking you to investigate a group of strange visitors who have set up camp in a nearby stronghold. You'll help these wandering plane travelers, the Vistani, fend off an attack, and with their blessing, you'll be granted special passage to the demi-plane of Dread, known as Ravenloft.
In Ravenloft, you'll meet Madame Ava, a Vistani who wishes to free the land of Barovia from its curse. She will give you a Tarot card reading of the dangers in Barovia and where to find 3 ancient treasures that you will need to prevail against the Devil's Strahd.
Departing the encampment and traveling through the mists will lead to the village of Barovia. Adventurers familiar with this Gothic setting can expect to encounter werewolves, witches, vampires, and all manner of creatures in the village of Barovia and the castle of Ravenloft. The presence of such classic monsters and certain aspects unique to the theme of this module, such as a day and night cycle, allowed us to make some great additions to the Monster Hunt feature. With this new release, we'll introduce a new epic dungeon, Castle Ravenloft. It's a real old school feeling dungeon crawl, where you'll face Strahd von Zarovich himself. Now to get to Strahd, you must gather the 3 artifacts of power, and then of course fight your way past all of his loyal servants.
Welcome, intern, to Acquisitions Incorporated. Please keep your hands, legs, tails, mandibles, and eye stalks in the ride at all times. Prepared to be immersed in Faerun's definitive adventuring brand. During this excursion, you will be exposed to the pillars of our organization. Opportunity, adventure, and rewards. Acquisitions Incorporated is not for the faint of heart.
You will be tested to your limits. You will find your deepest reserves and push past them.
We know there's a temple in Chult that has a real gem called the Heart of Fire.
Whoever you are, listen. Grab anything that isn't nailed to this deck and shoot it back.
Did I mention you're going to a Beholder convention? Because you are absolutely going to a Beholder convention.
We've got 2 jobs. We gotta protect this vault, and we gotta look good doing it.
What I wouldn't give for some interns.
I've seen your type in here before. You want to be a legend. Well, let me tell you, legend, there are better ways to be remembered. If you're that keen on dying in the darkness, that's your decision. But if you happen to make it back, you'll always have a table here, in the yawning portal. Things have changed in Undermountain. Something is brewing down there. The catacombs is everyone's first taste of Undermountain. You might have delved through some caverns before. If you're still keen on being eaten by an Umber Hulk, well, that's your decision. You ever seen a mystical underground forest? You ever parlay with liches and dragons?
I hope Vanrock Doom contains enough opportunities to outweigh the risks. Be warned though, many expeditions are never seen again, and the few adventurers who return have been reduced to terrified and broken husks of their former selves.
But you're not gonna stop until you've unraveled all the mysteries and secrets that you can, are you? No. Of course not. I know you.
Our daring adventurers are going to go into the most epic dungeon in Faerun. And this new release is going to be chock full of new features and content.
The Undermountain expansion also brings with it major overhauls to many of the features in Neverwinter, so let's dive right into the details. Our classes have undergone a thorough rework to better define their balance and roles. Two of these new roles include the Healing Warlock, known as the Soul Weaver, who uses the tormented souls of his enemies to heal their allies, and the Barbarian Tank, the Sentinel. You heard that right, Great Weapon Fighters are now known as Barbarians to better represent the Dungeons & Dragons we all know and love. Companions were rebuilt in order to give more freedom of choice. The bonus abilities from Companions are now separated from the Companions themselves, which allows adventurers a true choice in who they want to fight by their side. But on top of all the improvements in Neverwinter, there's a new level cap of 80 and a world of brand new adventures awaiting inside the awe-inspiring Undermountain.
The Catacombs, classic dungeon ruled by ruthless gangs and wandering monsters, twisted caverns, immense cave full of slimy and scaly things, Willowwood, a fantastic forest inside of a dungeon because, why not? Terminus, a bleak lava-filled realm full of demons and Duragar ruled over by a fallen angel. Lastly, we have Vanrock Doom, an immense dungeon level with several layers of depth unto itself, half in and half out of the Shadowfell. And did I mention a Shadow Dragon? As you level up, you'll get into Master Expeditions, which allow players to enable a risk-reward system similar to our hunts.
Well, that's all grand. It's time to talk about the man behind it all. That's right, the host with the most, Mad Mage Hallister. Undermountain is the lair of Hallister Blackcloak, an ancient mage with a touch of madness, and he has spent centuries building, shaping, and altering Undermountain. You'll be able to see all of his influence and magical touches throughout all of our levels, and you might even see the Mad Mage himself wandering the halls. And did I mention his apprentices? He has a lot, and they're going to stop at nothing to make sure that no meddling adventurers will get in the way of their dastardly plans. That's right, they're going to be thwarting our adventures the entire time they're in Undermountain. And the only way to stop these troublemakers is to go confront them inside the lair of the Mad Mage, our new level 80 dungeon. This dungeon is packed full of mechanical constructs, small and earth-shatteringly large, as well as dangerous denizens that are from all over Faerun. And all of this madness leads up to the final confrontation with Hallister's most dangerous apprentices. And these bosses are no pushover. It's going to take a lot of skill and a lot of teamwork for you to finally make sure that these bad guys get their just rewards.
The road to salvation is long. There is work to be done. But remain vigilant. Evil does not rest.
With the aid of heroes from Neverwinter, the Iliambruan elves finally defeated the armies of Malabog, the Fomorian king, who threatened the Feywild home of Sharundar. But the peace did not last.
Oh, a visitor! I've been dying to meet you.
With the last breath of Malabog, peace finally returned to our realm. But I fear victory was claimed too soon. Grave danger brews beyond our sight. Enemies once thought defeated begin to gather and conspire. As protectors of the Feywild, we must rise again to meet this threat. A new war for Sharundar has begun.
Well, what do we have here? So good to see you again. I've set aside a special jar for your soul, and I can't wait to collect it. Give it to me. You blindly traverse these tainted lands, grasping at shadows. It must be very frustrating, my dear. But you will know when I want you to know. The fear of the odious court.
There are many tales and legends about the great heroes of Neverwinter. But the greatest one of all, while small in stature, is one cocksure legend not to be clucked with.
From the battle ashes where fear and terror dwell, we'll rise like giants ready to fight together. We won't back down. Through fire and dark and caverns, we'll brave the winds of hell. Our weapons will guide us, ready to fight together. We won't back down.
Adventures, I'm Michael Clark, brand manager for Neverwinter, and I'm here to talk about the new changes coming to the game with our newest module, Jewel of the North. With Jewel of the North, we really set out with 3 core goals in mind. Improve the early game experience, create a more cohesive and concise leveling journey, and build an exciting new class that all our players, new or returning, will enjoy. Our first big challenge was figuring out exactly how to polish the leveling journey, and ultimately, this is where we really saw an opportunity to bring the game closer to its D&D roots. Upon loading up Jewel of the North for the first time, one of the first things you'll notice is the lack of an XP bar. In its place, you'll notice a new feature called the Adventure Log. Instead of the traditional MMORPG model, where XP is gained from defeating individual enemies and completing quests, we've transitioned to a milestone leveling system. This is a system that's derived from D&D's 5th edition, and in the case of Neverwinter, our larger objectives are what we call adventures. There will be 6 large adventures and zones for you to complete and explore. Neverdeath Graveyard, Velosk, Ebon Downs, Icespire Peak, Chasm, and Whispering Caverns. Each of these areas have been fine-tuned to provide a concise narrative experience, and completing each one will grant a certain amount of levels. After completing all the adventures, you will reach our new maximum level of 20, and will then be ready to take on endgame level content. We've also added 2 new locations to Protector's Enclave that will be very important to your journey: the Adventurers Guild and the Training Room. The new Adventurers Guild houses all of the class and Paragon trainers in one convenient location. It'll also be where you go to learn all the new mechanics and game systems. The Training Room is exactly what it sounds like. This will be somewhere that players can visit to test out new abilities and builds using a vast array of modifiers to replicate different combat scenarios. Our final goal was to create a fun new class, which we think we accomplished with the Bard. The Bard is a support DPS hybrid class who uses the power of music to enhance their allies and defeat their enemies. And as one of the more popular D&D classes, we knew it would be a great fit for our game. In order to truly execute on the dream of playing a Bard, we've introduced a new mechanic called Performance Mode. This allows the Bard to weave together songs during combat by pressing a string of notes in sequence, each of which represents a different song ability. Think of it like the Ocarina and Zelda's Ocarina of Time. Be careful though, the Bard has a limited performance meter, so pay close attention to that during combat. While this feature will be limited to a certain set of notes in combat, you'll be able to enter free performance mode out of combat, which boosts your musical repertoire to include more octaves and semitones. Like the other classes in Neverwinter, you'll be able to choose from 2 Paragon paths at level 11, both of which change up your playstyle considerably. With the Bard, you'll get to choose between the swashbuckling Songblade and the more traditional healer support path, the Minstrel. The Songblade is all about mobility, style, and damage output. This deadly duelist is at their best when they're dashing in and out of combat, striking opponents' weak points, and buffing both themselves and allies with elemental damage. The Minstrel, on the other hand, is a mesmerizing performer whose bombastic ballads sweep the battlefield, either lifting allies or devastating enemies. With a much larger performance pool than the Songblade, the Minstrel acts as a more than capable healer for your party. This is all I have to share today, but you can look forward to experiencing all of these new changes when Jewel of the North launches on PC July 27th and on consoles later this fall. Until next time, adventurers.
Voices echo from beyond the reaches of our reality. Their whispers speak of what could have been, what has been, and what could still be. To hear the voices is a blessing and a curse. We must listen carefully, for there is knowledge in the echoes.
The Shield of the North has made great progress against the cult, but we must bolster these efforts.
Your help may be the very thing that turns the tables in our favor. Assemble the forces! We must stop Valindra!
You will not stop me this time!
The Scale Blight Summit. If Valindra succeeds in casting the Rite of the Dracolich as a missile, then all of dragonkind will be converted. Life as we know it would end in a flash.
The Dragonbone Veil brings back more memories than I can count. It has been here longer than I can remember, nestled in plain sight, yet high enough to discourage prying eyes.
Ridges divide this region into 4 distinct neighborhoods. Etrian has taken the Emerald Enclave into the wooded area aptly named Whetstone Thicket. Sergeant Knox and the Lord's Alliance have set up camp amidst the crags and dwarven ruins of Quellwater Tarn. The Order of the Gauntlet can be found with Celeste in Wormbone Marrows, a rocky landscape carpeted with dragon remains. Beyond those neighborhoods lies a ruinous expanse surrounded by an expanding wall of corruption, the Scale Blight Summit.
The Cult of the Dragon is using devices they call malignant conduits to spread corruption throughout the Dragonbone Veil.
The Order of the Gauntlet and I are focused on keeping our collective alive and repurposing these strange artifacts. With enough radiant energy, they should be capable of cleansing the corruption. May Salune's light guide us all.
I've spent my life studying the enigma of dragonkind. What drives them, where to find them, the power they command. I've watched them build and topple whole societies. And I've seen the truth behind their treacherous words. They can be cold and callous. Some are outright savage, while others are more calculated in their ruinous pursuits. No matter their motivations, whatever fuels their primal rage, it is my responsibility to protect the citizens of Faerun from these dragons. Tell me, Dragon Slayer, will you join us?
There's something happening down below in the North Dark Reaches, and I need someone to find out what. A friend of mine, a dark elf by the name of Braylon Janquay, sent a message up that he'd found something unusual, but then disappeared. I need to know what he knows.
Menzoberranzan is a prison. I am fortunate to have escaped. It is my hope that someday this place can be cast open, its citizens freed from their captor.
Lorth is a demoness, a destroyer, a plague upon the world, with her loyalist scum following her ways of chaos and ruin into the depths of the abyss itself.
I think the blaspheme are righteous in their cause, and the loyalists are not. If war comes, I will be on the right side of it.
Some fear war will soon envelop Menzoberranzan. For me, the war has already begun. Welcome, soldier, to the cause of the blaspheme.